If you subscribe to YouTube, you saw regular reasons active and cover so it's another Malayalam films. You go to Patreon or channel membership. Stop at the link in the description below or the pinned comments. You go check that out. The end spot where we talk about Okay. Yeah.
മരം കത്തട്ട ഉണക്കപ്പരം കത്തി പോട്ടേന്ന് നീ അന്ന് ഷാപ്പിൽ വെച്ച് പഠിപ്പിച്ച മ്യാജിക്കൊന്നും ഞാൻ മറന്നിട്ടില്ല.
ഒരു മജീഷ്യൻ എപ്പോഴും മുൻകൂട്ടി തയ്യാറാക്കിയ അദൃശ്യമായ ഒരു തിരക്കഥയുണ്ട്. ആ കഥക്കനുസരിച്ച് മുന്നിലിരിക്കുന്ന കാണികൾ അറിയാതെ അവർക്ക് മുമ്പിൽ അഭിനയിക്കുകയാണ് ഓരോ മാജിക്കാരും. ആദ്യം കാണികളുടെ കാഴ്ച മറയ്ക്കണം. അങ്ങനെ ആ രഹസ്യം മറ്റൊരിടത്താണെന്ന് തെറ്റിദ്ധരിപ്പിച്ച് അവരുടെ ശ്രദ്ധ അങ്ങോട്ട് മാറ്റണം. ചുറ്റും കാണികൾ സാധാരണമാണെന്ന് കരുതുന്നൊന്നും സാധാരണമല്ല. അതെല്ലാം ഒരു കൺകെട്ടുകാരൻ വിദഗ്ധമായി ഉണ്ടാക്കിയെടുക്കുന്നതാണ്. പിന്നെ അവർ പറ്റായതുകൊണ്ടും ബാബുവിന്റെ കഴുത്തിലെ കയർ അവർ കാണില്ല. പക്ഷെ ആ സമയത്ത് കയർ വലിക്കരുത്. അതിന് നല്ലൊരു സമയം നോക്കി ജനലിൽ അവിടെ കാത്തിരിക്കണം.
നീ കള്ളിൻ ജീപ്പിന്റെ ഗിയർ നേരത്തെ ന്യൂട്രലാക്കി. സമയമായപ്പോ അവള് വന്ന് ഊടുകളിൽ തട്ടുമാറ്റി വണ്ടി ചെറുതായിട്ടൊന്ന് തള്ളി കൊടുത്തു.
എനിക്ക് നേരെ എല്ലാ തെളിവുകളും വരുമ്പോൾ അവർ കരുതും എന്നെ പിടിച്ചു, കേസ് തെളിഞ്ഞു വന്ന്.
കൂടപ്പറപ്പിനെ പോലെ കൂടാണ് എനിക്കത് പറഞ്ഞു.
Don't pull it out.
That's what she said.
അറിയാണ്ട് പറ്റിയേട്ടാ.
പോടാ, ഞാൻ ചാവാൻ പോടാ മാറി.
ചേട്ടാ അങ്ങനൊന്നും പറയില്ലേട്ടാ, നമുക്കൊന്നും പറ്റില്ലേട്ടാ.
എന്റെ കിഡ്നിക്കളാ മാറി നീ കുത്തിയത്.
കിഡ്നി പറയില്ലല്ലേട്ടാ. ചേട്ടാ
അറിയാൻ പാടില്ല ഉണ്ടായിരുന്നോട്ടോ നീ.
വേറെ ഒന്നിനു വേണ്ടിയല്ല, അതിനെ വന്നില്ല ഏട്ടാ. ജോയിന്റെ കാര്യം പറയാം.
ചോദിച്ചേണ്ട
എത്ര ഡോക്ടർമാരെ ഞങ്ങൾ മാറി കണ്ടതറിയും. എത്ര വർഷത്തിന്റെ കാത്തിനു ശേഷം അവൾ പ്രഗ്നന്റ് ആയത്. ഞങ്ങൾക്ക് ഒരിക്കലും കുഞ്ഞുങ്ങളുണ്ടാവില്ലേട്ടാ. അതൊക്കെ മറന്നു. ഞാൻ എന്തെന്ന ഒരു അടിമയെ പോലെ ഞാൻ എങ്ങനെ കുഞ്ഞിട്ട്.
നീ എവിടെയും പോടാ, പോയി ജീവിക്ക്.
ചതിക്കാൻ ഞാൻ വിചാരിച്ചിട്ടില്ല, അറിയാണ്ട് പറ്റിപ്പോയേട്ടാ.
അടിച്ചില്ലാത്ത ഞാൻ കോത്തപ്പൊളിക്കണം.
എവിടേക്കാണ് ഈ കേറി പോണ?
ഞങ്ങൾ തറവാടാണ് സാറെ കത്തണം. ഞങ്ങൾ അതിന്റെ ഉള്ളിൽ
അച്ഛൻ പറഞ്ഞു ശരിയാ. രഹസ്യോട് കൺകെട്ട ശക്തി അതാർക്കും പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുക്കരുത്. അവിടെ എനിക്ക് പഠിച്ചത്.
കണ്ണോ, അവളെ വിട്ടില്ലെങ്കിൽ ഞാൻ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്യും.
He hit her.
Yep.
ഞാൻ ഷൂട്ട് ചെയ്തില്ലായിരുന്നെങ്കിൽ അയാൾ തന്നെ കൊന്നേനെ. അതുകൊണ്ട് നന്നായി. പക്ഷെ മെയിൻ കാര്യം ബാബുവിനെ കൊന്നത് കണ്ണനല്ല, വേറെ ആരുമാണ് കൊലയാളി. അയാളൊരു പക്ഷെ നമ്മുടെ തൊട്ട് മുന്നിൽ തന്നെ ഉണ്ടാവും, ചിലപ്പോൾ നമ്മുടെ കൺമുന്നിൽ തന്നെ ഉണ്ടാവും.
സർ, ടൈം കഴിഞ്ഞു.
ടൈം ഔട്ട്.
Tokyo. A song in Tokyo Drift, I feel like.
Tokyo Drift.
I don't know if you ever saw that.
I did not.
It's the only Fast and Furious I've seen.
Yeah, I did not.
I thought overall it was pretty nice. I think it didn't stick the landing at the end, though.
Yeah.
It felt like, right?
Yeah.
Like overall, I think there's a lot of really nice stuff about the film, especially director-wise, cinematographer-wise. It just, for some reason, at the end, I can't fully figure out why I didn't fully like the ending. Whether it was believability, whether it was the way it was done. Because I'm not fully saying it like wasn't believable. They didn't explain everything in the way it should have been told.
Yeah.
But it just, for some reason, maybe it was a lot too much exposition there at the end in terms
There
of
was quite a bit.
All right, well, here's a 20-minute segment of how it all...
Yeah.
And I don't think that, for me, worked
no.
At the end. Not that it wasn't, like, believable. Like, I feel like believability-wise, sure, they set everything up, and it probably would have been just fine. But I feel like 20 minutes of explanation is a lot. And
I agree.
And doesn't hit home the way... I
totally
feel like
agree.
you want something like this to really hit home.
Totally agree.
Right?
Yeah, totally agree. It was teetering back and forth between silver and bronze for me because there were so many things that I thought were excellent about it.
Yeah.
But the second half fell off so strongly for me that it just becomes bronze. It becomes something that I enjoyed the movie.
Yeah.
It had some excellent parts, but the second half fell off so strongly in what you just said, as well as pacing. It felt you definitely would have benefited showing more and telling less in the second half.
Yeah.
And just pacing wise, it was really slow to wrap itself up in the climax.
Yeah.
And considering the twists and turns, it was somewhat unsatisfying in terms of, I was like, okay.
Yeah.
At the end.
Yeah, and it's a weird one because, like I said, especially in the first 3/4 of the movie, maybe half to 3/4, whatever you want to really say. I think it was a really fun, unique, especially how this director, say his name?
Yeah, Sriraj Srinivasan.
Decided to tell the story and weave it. And it was really interesting and fun.
And the cinematography.
There was a lot of fun comedy.
Score was great.
Great cinematography by...
cinematographer in this is Shiju Khalid.
Editor as well as...
Is Shafiq Muhammad Ali.
Fantastic jobs, by the way.
Great jobs.
Both.
Excellent jobs. That was what was maintaining the silver for me, as long as the writing was solid, the acting was solid through the first half, but like we just said, not to beat a dead horse, the second half fell off.
Yeah, they definitely could have cut time off of it. At the end, maybe at least 20 minutes of the explanation. Now, you do need to explain, obviously, what exactly went on, but I don't think...
You could show it.
Yeah, 20 minutes of literal dialogue explanation. I mean, flashbacks are usually never my favorite. I feel like oftentimes they're a cop-out.
Yeah.
As opposed to, like, using your brain a little more and being like, okay, maybe we can show them this and the audience
Well,
can
especially
gather.
when you're combining an exposition monologue and flashback, which is what they did when Soubin is talking to him as he's dying, saying, we had to do this, we had to do this. It was like, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That it just... obviously, I'm not saying it's like an easy thing to do.
It is not.
It's not.
It is not an easy thing to do.
That's why when you make such a good film, it's such a little miracle.
And when you've written it and you're directing it, it's kind of difficult to pull that out and make those cuts. It is, again, we're being pretty picky, but
overall, like I said, I think there's a lot of stuff to actually really enjoy in this.
Yeah, I agree. It's enjoyable.
I believe, especially for editing and cinematography, those could easily show up in the dummies, I feel like, because there was a lot of really fun things that I feel like the editor and cinematographer and director decided to do here.
So much of the storytelling was dependent upon the the editing,
and also the lot of really fun comedy. I felt like
there was, especially in the first half.
Yeah, they really injected some random humor in there that was appreciated.
Yep.
To kind of, lighten the load a little bit on certain stories. I mean, the story itself. Overall, acting wise, I thought they were all did a nice job. This was definitely a director's story. I think the one that stood out most was Basil, obviously, in this
His
one.
character,
His
particularly.
character stood out the most in this in terms of performance wise. I think everybody did a solid job.
They did.
It definitely wasn't the issue with the film. I feel like it was going like this in the second half, especially when they started easing, they were telling you what happened.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay, I don't.
And some of the stunt work was,
yeah, they definitely didn't have the money for that.
yeah, and shot choices. It was like, okay, I'm gonna let that pass.
Yeah. But like overall, I think there are some really nice, and I could see why I did hear mixed things about this film, which was why it took us a minute to get to it. But I could see why certain people would really enjoy it. And I could also see why other people, it was kind of a letdown for them, especially the second half. You guys can tell us if you felt.
Yeah, is that the predominant feedback?
I didn't get, because I don't go in because I don't want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
When I hear certain things, I'm like, oh, they won't like this. They will like this. I think they will. No, they probably won't. That's what I'll read. And I'll see if, okay. Or if it's like, oh, watch it. And I see it. I'm like, everybody wants us to watch this, like Thunder Rum.
Right.
Although there were people that thought we wouldn't like it.
Yeah.
In Thunder Rum. But I thought it was really unique, though.
And I think one of the things that would have worked a bit more, which typically is the case with the whodunit type of things, they combined some of the basics of Clue as well as a couple of them. There's been a couple of movies that do Hollywood films that use magic as a motif for murder. Some really popular ones that use magic as a motif for murder. And the payoff for those films typically comes in the climax in a full-blown, oh my goodness. And I felt like we found out those secrets very slowly.
Yeah.
Unfolding in the pacing of that slow second half versus it all just coming to a penultimate, oh my goodness, you thought it was him? No, it was him. You thought it was her? Oh, no, it was her. And this is what we did that, and we've tricked him with that. I would have preferred that as the stereotypical kind of payoff in a whodunit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree.
What did you see? You saw something that made you go,
Directorial debut.
You know what? That's impressive.
He had only done shorts prior.
That's impressive.
But, you can, when you see a great film, it's, regardless of if you're a seasoned director or if you're a newbie, it's incredible.
Yeah.
Because that's a hard thing to do. But when you do see it's a directorial debut, and you're like, he can probably learn from some of the...
Absolutely.
He did it. I think you wouldn't... I didn't expect this to be a first-time director.
No.
At the end of it. Even though, I felt like it fell off, especially at the last fourth of the film. That happens sometimes when you're cutting a film. Or when you're shooting a film. But I feel like for a first-time director, honestly, it's probably one that you should be pretty proud of.
Absolutely. I bet I don't know, but if he even felt the same way about the way the story unfolded in the second half and the challenges that you have doing that. Especially, this is one that, for your first-time film, this is a nice thing to have on your resume as a first-time film.
For a first-time film, it's kind of a complicated thing to take on.
Yep.
A whodunit in terms of, and how you're going to peel that onion.
Yep. Not easy.
Layers at...
especially, you've got a sophisticated audience these days with the amount of whodunits that have been done and the popularity of the Knives Out franchise to keep people engaged. And you did. There wasn't a point you know, it didn't get so bad that I was like, okay, can we turn it off now? It never got there.
No, it just
never
it was just,
got there.
At the end, it was like, oh, I wish maybe you would have done this differently.
Yeah.
And because that was my biggest disappointment with the entire film, was just how they decided to reveal everything.
How they wrapped it up.
Yeah, it's not even how they, because I was like, that's one of the things I'm saying. It's not that I didn't believe that he could have done this because he was a magician.
Sure,
and he
I like
set
that.
it all up, and I'm like, I
like that.
I honestly am not saying I don't believe that.
Right. Or that it was them doing it.
It's
I like
just
that.
The way it was framed, the way it was peeled back. A lot too much exposition.
Too much exposition.
And explaining. And it's a fine line.
It
because
is.
you want people to understand what happened. Because, or if you don't explain it, they're
Guys,
like, what?
I got to tell you, the difficulty in writing things, I want to give you an example of something and just how hard it is to write, especially something like this. I'm involved with this play. We did a stage reading of it called Last Used Car Lot in America. And Sean and Joel have been writing this thing, both the music and the book, for the better part of 10 years. We did a staged reading, had an extraordinarily positive turnout with fundraising for the show to get mounted. We just did a table read at the Colony Theater to potentially mount the show there. Afterwards, they got back to me and they said, we discovered through the table read we still have a lot of work to do with a couple of characters in the show, meaning my character and the other main woman character that's in this. There's still some things in the arc that they don't really feel are justified, and they don't feel like the whys for these characters are as strong. So they're going back to the writing block, as it were, to really hone that in. They've been working on this thing for a long time. You think about how long it took Lin-Manuel Miranda to write Hamilton. It took him the better part of a decade to finish that thing. So I have no idea how long it took him to write this, but we're being really picky based on the standards of other things that we've seen. Again, I think as a writer-director, this is one of those things that you could chalk up to, that's a pretty solid turnout for a very freshman, first-time thing. It's hard. It's hard to do.
It is. And I don't know if this is for this movie, but I searched, does Basil Joseph have 6 fingers on his hand?
Oh, I didn't think he did. I think it's just for the character.
Basil Joseph does not have 6 fingers on one hand. It's a misconception or a misunderstanding of a biblical reference. Biblical story of Goliath and his brother describes him as 6 fingers on each hand and 6 toes on each foot, but this is not related to Basil Joseph. Basil Joseph is an Indian film. What the fuck is that? I don't think that has anything to do with that.
No.
What? What was that?
And I don't remember that in Samuel.
Neither
Do you?
do I.
Is that in the Book of Opinions?
Somebody says,
Maybe it is in there.
on Reddit, somebody says, why does he have 6 fingers? Somebody says, what does it mean? Somebody says, extra fingers.
No, it linked him. They showed his dad's hand, and his dad had the same thing. Remember when they were trying to convince us that he was the one who could potentially have been the killer? They did a quick flash of his dad's hand.
His dad also had it.
Yeah.
So it's just a condition to show that he's this
So
son.
that he's... It also, there may be some other symbology of a 6-fingered person and something that we have no fathomable clue about, but I didn't think he did. I thought we would have spotted that a long time ago.
So they showed the dad, and the dad also had. Okay,
yeah, when
I
he was
didn't
getting
catch
his head, they showed a flashback of the door smashing.
that. I did like that part.
Yeah, when they revealed it was his dad. A lot of flashbacks in this, and I'm with Corbin. Flashbacks very rarely work.
For the most part, they were working for me in terms of this until the very end, and it was a little too much.
Yeah,
because like if you show me a flashback and it's just to kind of give me a small reference for the character, when you start giving me flashback to explain and give me exposition in the flashbacks, that's when I don't. That's when I really
there's
don't
a
like
fine
it.
line between exposition and reveal.
Yeah,
flashbacks in a whodunit work when it's a reveal, especially if it's something you've shown us before and we missed it.
Yeah,
and you go, oh, that's what that was. That's the importance of a flashback and a whodunit.
Yeah.
So,
anyway,
you
guys can let us know what you thought about the movie. If you like, if you didn't like it, what your thoughts on it are. What should be our next Malayalam movie? Whether it's this year or otherwise. Let us know what you thought about the movie. Really, what should be the next Malayalam film? And anything else we need to know. Oh, no. If you saw us on YouTube, you saw a very cut version because of copyright reasons.
This is
the
true.
full and cut version of this and other Malayalam films you get
This
on
is
Patreon or channel memberships. I will put the link in the description below or the pinned comment so you go check that out. And anything else we need to know down below.